Just give him a call quickly. Okay, I think we're gonna start now. So welcome everybody. I'm really very happy to see you all today for our first basically member to member webinar that we are organizing with Gapresolve. Gapresolve, it's in fact Herman Prinsloo and Gary Dutoy. You might have seen or meet them at the cocktail reception we had last week at the embassy. Gapresolve is a management consulting agency that is basically there to help you resolve your gaps. So gaps in your operation, in your strategy, and in your also your HR structure. And today we're going to tackle probably the strategy of your business and probably also the operation and that's the tool that they're going to present to us, which is called SAP Ariba. And hopefully we're going to learn a lot from this presentation and definitely on how to go digital in this world that's becoming a much smaller market than it used to be a few years back. I mean, not even taking into account the COVID-19 situation. So if I could just ask you to switch off your microphone. If you have a question, please don't hesitate to interrupt Herman and Gary when they are presenting. You can also use the chat box, but yeah, it's a small audience today, so let's make it interactive for all of us to enjoy the presentation. So Herman, up to you.
Yes, thank you very much for the introduction. Gary is just having trouble connecting to Teams, so he'll join us in a second because we've got multiple team profiles with our clients and that always causes problems. But I just wanted to see, can you see the presentation?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
fantastic. I'll probably switch off the video. Yeah, I've just seen Harry's joined us. Hi, Harry.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, so Harry will co-present with me, and we'll just interrupt each other as we carry on. So the aim of today's meeting is we wanted to share with you sort of what we do, and hopefully it can add value to your business in terms of the SAP Ariba, because currently, because of COVID, there's a code that you can use so that you've got free access to SAP Ariba. So it's a very good thing to join now because you don't have to pay for it. And as Christine said, anybody, if you've got a question, just interrupt and we can answer. So, Gary, I don't know if you just want to talk a bit about what we do quickly.
Yes, thanks, Herman. So, what we do is we've been in change management for many years. We work on large technology implementations like SAP or Oracle, and we also do management consulting and continuous business improvement. Herman, if you can go to the next slide. So Herman will tell you a little bit now about the changes happening in the procurement world and digitizing of procurement. And that is where programs like SAP, Ariba, and Coupa come in. And what we help our big clients with is supplier enablement. So that is helping the clients to connect via these digital technologies with their um, suppliers and also potential suppliers. And that is what today's session also is all about, is I'm helping you to learn how to be able to um, um, subscribe to these services. We've been lucky to be on projects that won SAP awards, silver and quite a few gold. And that last one, Anglo-American, is specifically important. It's one that Herman has been on, and that was for a supplier enablement part of the project. Right,
So
Herman, back to you.
yes, just a quick introduction. Then I'm going to explain how Ariba works, and hopefully one of you would like to do it. I'll tell you why uh, later, and I can talk you through it, and then we'll just talk about how does these procurement sites actually match up. So just in terms of procurement, um, I like this picture quite a lot because I started in the pre-computer uh, phase of the world. I'm that old. So I can still remember that we had these round things in procurement that we used to turn with business cards in them, and then you'd phone somebody and they'd send you a quote. Later on, we got faxes. It was quite high tech then. But currently, you know, when we started our business in 2007, one of the things we agonized about was do we pay extra to get one of those uh, blocks with the color in the yellow pages, or do we just take the bold, or do we just take the plain listing? And that was where procurement was. If you wanted something, you looked it up in the yellow pages. It's amazing how things changed. And later on, trade fairs became quite popular, and one would go to trade fairs and find suppliers and see what they've got. And of course, these days, we've uh, got things like COVID that's also an impact. For instance, I'm sure you're following the news that there's a global shortage in computer chips at the moment due to the time of lockdown when the factories didn't work. And that's even affecting cars, televisions, obviously laptops and phones. So it's probably going to affect the price and also the supply. So if you work for a company and you need to buy these things, your current supplier might actually not have what you're looking for. And then, of course, there's procurement fraud online, which makes it quite difficult. I get daily emails from fake government departments that wants us to quote on stuff. Don't do it because they actually just want to defraud you out of your money. Um, so this Transnet fake one is quite cool because it says in the third line after the good day, if you're not a supplier of this product, you can still participate and you can outsource your quote and include your markup and delivery field. So why they're saying that, they just want you to reply so that they can charge you some fee um, and then scam some money out of you. So this is quite common. So it's very difficult on the internet and social media. Nowadays they're talking about deep fake, where people can impersonate a company or impersonate you know or create the image that they can supply something and then steal your money. So one of our consultants the other day was on Facebook. They advertised embroidered jackets and she bought 3, and then it turned out to be a scammer. And people sell dogs and cats and holidays and everything, and then it turns out to be fake. So if you do register your business to get seen on the internet, it is good to use one of the more reputable procurement applications. So SAP Ariba um, is obviously belong to the big ERP company, and it's been around for 20 years. And Ariba Discovery, the one that we're showing you today, that where you can get free access at the moment, has more than 4 million suppliers globally, and the current turnover is just over 5 billion US dollars in terms of opportunities that get posted. So it can be quite good for you to be part of this, so that you can also get links to opportunities. So in today's session, we'll just show you how it works and how you can actually register a profile, because it literally takes seconds. So what Discovery is about is for large companies that's looking for something to put out a RFI, request for information, or a RFQ, request for quote, and then you get the notification either on your app, on your phone, or in your email. You click on the link and you basically send your quote or your company information, and in that way you can get some business from people that you didn't even know existed out there. So just to show you, and this is an important one, so buyers have always been able to create opportunities for free. So if you register as a buyer, you can put out RFQs and you don't pay for them. But the suppliers that responded to the RFQs usually had to pay, unless it's a government department. It's free. Any government or parastatal stuff is free to reply. But if you're a company and you put out a request for something, then usually you had to pay some small fee. Well, not that small if you're in South Africa. It's sort of between 30 and 300 euros per thing that you reply to, depending on the size of the opportunity and a few things like that. So until the 30th of September, and it might actually be extended until the end of December. But for now, until the 30th of December, if you use the promo code SAP Ariba 2020, one word, you can actually reply to any opportunity free of charge. So you'll still get the screen that says please pay, but you know, like with online uh, procurement, if you buy something online, there's a voucher field where you can put a voucher code. So in Ariba, it's exactly the same. So if you want to respond on the payment screen, it would say, do you have a voucher? And then you just put SAP Ariba 2020, and it will basically make that response free of charge. So how it works, and this is the other critical thing we're going to teach you today, is your profile. Because Ariba is basically a dating site, um, you need to make sure that your profile uh, has the correct keywords, so that the buyer that puts something in there um, will match up with your keywords, so that you can get automatically notified if an opportunity arises for you. And I'll show you now what the practical implications is. So for instance, in South Africa, the word robot um, is quite a unique one, because if we talk about robots, South African English, we actually mean two things. We mean the automated thingy that builds cars and works in factories, but we also mean traffic light. I don't know why South Africans refer to traffic lights as robots, but they do. So and that's just a small example of how your profile can actually make that you get the wrong uh, notifications. And to make that less of a problem, um, we use standardized classifications. So um, uh, Ariba and most similar procurement sites uses the United Nations Standard Products and Services Code. And that's a whole bunch of codes that you basically put in, and then it will match you up with a requirement from a buyer based on this standardized code that you've used. The reason why it's important for people in Belgium and people in South Africa is most South Africans and Belgians aren't first language English speakers. So it's more difficult for us to actually um, always get the correct code or the correct word, um, and get our profiles correct. So let me show you how the codes work. For instance, I know somebody attending, or a few companies that's attending, was in the human resources field, so I decided to use that as an example. So human resources, if you're looking at the highest possible level, the code is 8011 and 4 zeros, and then as you go down, um, there's more detail under human resources. So let me show you how it works. So in the United Nations UNSPC codes, there's 8 digits, but each digit has a different meaning. So you start at the top level. So in the first 2 digits would be the top level, and then there's a family, the second 2 digits, and a class, and right at the end is the commodity. So you can see human resource services in this example is a family, but the commodity below it is human resources productivity audit. So it's up to you how detailed you want to create your profile. So the first thing would be to search for your commodity so that you can add it to your Ariba profile later. So, and how it works in Ariba is you literally would then take those words and add it into your company profile. And that is what the only two things that you use to match you up is your categories for the UNSPC and your location. So you can put various locations, countries across the world if you're a multinational, for instance. And then you would also get the opportunities based on your company's location. So how it looks when you get an opportunity is like this. You'll get an email and it would say there's an opportunity. It will tell you which category was triggered and which country, what the value is and what the closing date is. And then you can click on the view and respond button and then use your voucher code and respond for free. So those are the two things that you match on, is basically your category and your country. That's why it's so important that we get the category right. And hopefully I can show you this one example of what happens when you get it wrong. So in this example, a local company um, put out a RFQ um, you for catering, housekeeping, and laundry services, but they put the wrong category. So cakes, chocolates, sandwiches, and soft drinks. What they should have put was catering services, housekeeping, laundry, um, facilities management. Those were the correct codes. And what then happens is Ariba, if you look at the orange numbers to the right of the screen, Ariba actually notified 88 people in that area in the Northern Cape of this opportunity. But because they supply the wrong things, 38 of them actually looked at it, but nobody responded because they obviously weren't a match to what happened, what was asked for. So that is all we wanted to show you. So now we can show you live how to register your profile in Ariba, and then also how to find your codes in Ariba. Is there anybody that would like to, you know, take the opportunity and we talk them through registering a profile, and they can share their screen to make it practical? I guess yes.
No, maybe because we had some. The nice thing about the guests today, we have some that have got products, like Ultra Chem, Javandi. So they're selling chemicals, detergents, but we also have services.
Yes.
And Jessie from Sagisa is probably also a good example where it's quite an intricate. It's filtration, but I'm sure they've got many products. So yeah, any of these two?
Okay, Claudine, I've actually done the exercise.
Yes.
And I've put the results on Excel, so I can show you that.
Good.
So
Sure.
just
Yeah.
remember there are two parts to this. The one is to look up your service or your product, and the one for the cleaning services are very good in this example, because the one company we have today have the services and one have detergent. So I have that example ready.
Good.
But remember, there are two things: is looking up the exact name of your service or product on UNSPC, and then to register on Ariba.
Yes.
So, Herman, I just don't know how we're going to play this for time. Do you first want to show how to register on Ariba, and then I can come back and spend the remainder of the time on how to look up the
I
real name?
think do the code quickly and
Okay.
show everybody's codes. We can send it to them afterwards as well, because then we can do the Ariba bit right at the end when everybody's sort of got a feel for their own code.
Okay, cool.
Okay. I'm going to unshare.
Cool. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay, so I concentrated on the cleaning and the HR, because we've got three companies that do HR services, and then we've got, as I said, the one that do cleaning services and cleaning products. But is it Sagisa or Sagisa? Sagisa Process Engineering do filtration applications and water treatment. That also, in a way, falls under cleaning services.
Perfect.
So,
yes.
as Herman described, so when I did HR, I got.
Gary, your sound is not great. I don't know if you can move closer to a Wi-Fi or, but you're very far. We can't hear you very well. Claudia, you want to say something? You're going, I believe.
Hi, yes, sorry, unfortunately I do need to leave. So if I could, you did say that the meeting is, I can see the meeting is recorded.
It is, yes.
That's fine, as long as you'll just share the recording with Emlyn.
I will do that.
That'll be wonderful. Thank you for your time, everyone.
Thank you for being there. Bye-bye.
Thanks, bye.
Bye. Okay, Gary, can we continue?
Hi, also if you need a example, I'm willing to be the example as well, right?
But you are there, Liana. You are in the demo of HR as well. Yes.
Yeah.
You see.
Is this better again?
Liana, that would be awesome, Liana.
Yes.
We'll talk you through it, and then you can register on Ariba. But let's first look up your categories with Harry.
Okay, can everyone see again?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes, much
Okay,
better.
cool.
Thank you.
So I did the same. I put human resources in, and I found those results. So then remember that the categories, the main category, the family, the commodities, all in twos. So I first put in that UNSPC website code. I just put 8 with all the zeros. Then you see the main, what is it called, Herman? The category, or what's the service, that the top one is called Management and Business Professional Services. Then I took the next 2 letters and I made that 10. That gives you Management Advisory Services. And then 801015 is Business and Corporate. So if you then say, put a 10 at the end, 11 and a 12, you see all the different business and corporate management consulting services, of which that one is HR. But then if you have a look also, if you do all these searches, you will see there's HR consulting, that's that 8010, and then human resource services is 8011. And there you can get everything that you can possibly do, even the provisional of all those different kinds of temporary services or personnel services, as well as permanent staff. You've got recruitment, you've got employee skill testing, psychometric, physical screening, everything that you can possibly think HR related will be in there. And there you see, so in terms of, and that code looks totally different. It starts with a 4.3, that's probably software, and for that specific code you get human resources. So that's the HR thing. And what you need to do is, what I did is, as I said, I first put that one big code in with all the zeros, and then I tried 801 with all the zeros, and then I tried 8011 with all the zeros. And if you only put in that part, you only need to put in that part, and then the system will give you all of the rest as well. Cool. Let's look at cleaning. That was a difficult one. So when I typed in cleaning services, I got all of these results, and amongst them was that 7.6 with all the zeros. That was industrial cleaning, and as you can see under that one, you get all the normal type of cleanings like restroom, building, fabric, parks and outdoor venues, building components, all the type of cleaning that you can do. And then products was a bit difficult. So my first result, I got that one, and then I thought water and wastewater treatment and supply and disposal. Wow, that's not the products, but that may tie into the other company that do water filtration services. Then I put in soap, but then no, that was the. So sometimes you have to go, and that's where everyone says where the language that we speak. Sometimes I go into on Google and I Google synonyms for the word that I use, and I try that in the UNSPCS website, and then I get to what then I tried washing detergents, and I thought, no, that must also not be right. Then eventually I got industrial cleaners or detergents, then I put in laundry products, and then eventually that helped me to get this whole list of cleaning products. And do you see nowhere the word detergent comes in? So that's why I say sometimes you have to Google synonyms and use that synonyms to find eventually what you have, what you want.
So the root code would then be 47131800, and then that would give you all of those things that Harry's just found. So
Yeah.
you can see how the code families actually work. So and we'll send you our presentation for today as well. But basically, um, the class is then the 6 digits with the 2 zeros at the end. But Harry, I think we'll also
Okay.
send
Yeah, we will do. I didn't get to the consulting, so just for Mazars, I just wanted to say for audit, um, you typically go to that management and business professional and administrative services and the management advisory services and look under those codes, put those codes in and find what you need also. And then for look, this is also, to get your specific codes, I would like to have a little chat because there I made a assumption that fit would be non-profit or governmental or whatever. But in the end, one need to look at all the services you provide and then go back and look that up. But we will, as Herman said, we will send these to you.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Gary, I've got a question. Is it important to be as specific as possible so then you end up with a list of like 100 codes, or should you rather stay quite generic or general and have the UNCS code at the highest level? What is best, or somewhere in the middle? Is
Claudine,
there some
yes,
sort of advice there?
my first instinct would be to say as specific as you can be, because
Okay.
all these HR codes that I've listed here, um, it's perhaps, not all HR companies will give all of these services, but perhaps one should go and decide that 80111600 temporary personnel services. I think that would be the lowest that you can go.
Yes, okay.
Or you shouldn't go higher.
We're losing you there. The connection is bad. Can you repeat that, because
yeah, but yes, so I would say do not go higher than that temporary personnel services if you offer temporary personnel services, but it's perhaps not necessary to go down to the very last one.
All right.
Okay.
Yes, makes sense. Yes.
But as detailed as possible. Otherwise, like Herman said, people will miss what you really do.
And it's not there is a limit to the amount of codes that you can put for your company.
Herman, can you just answer that one?
Okay.
We've lost Herman.
So Herman, you're on mute.
If they're not, can you hear me?
Now we can. Yes.
Sorry. So there's no limit. Where the problem comes in is if you go too wide, you'll get too many RFIs, RFQs that's not really relevant. So then you get tired of getting something every second day that's not for you. But it's a good place to start. So you can start high, and then sort of as you start understanding what people ask for, you can always edit your profile and go into more specific things so that you can also reduce the amount of RFQs that you receive in the system, or make them more relevant.
Okay, thank you. That makes sense, yes.
So, yeah, so it's a great thing that we can, you know, edit it all the time and make it better. So Leona offered to be our practical try-out person. There's a good psychological reason for doing it, by the way, which I'm not going to go into now, but after the age of 27, our brains mature, so things we see and hear we forget quickly, but things we do we remember for a much longer time. So Leona would probably get the most benefit by being the guinea pig here. So Leona, if you can, I've sent in the messaging, I've sent the link that you can click on to register a profile. If you can share your screen, I will then talk you through what you must do. And you can do it while everybody watches.
Okay. Let me just open up my screen here.
Are you there, Liana? Because we don't hear you or see a screen. Oh, Liana is leaving us now?
I think she dropped off. So while we waiting for Liana to come back, I'll quickly just give you like a basic demo. So
Yes.
I just want to share my screen.
And surely, Herman, if we can maybe at the end of the session, as I said, I'll share the recording and put your details to the participants, and they can maybe contact you if they need some help to register, that you can guide them on a one-to-one basis.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So Liana should be back now.
Leona?
Yeah, you're back.
I'm back. Sorry.
But your sound is terrible. We don't hear you.
Connectivity issues are all around today. I think it's not only.
Liana, I think I suggest Herman takes over, because your sound is extremely bad. We don't hear you. There's an echo. So let's have Herman help us there rather.
Okay, so Liana, if you get stuck, we can always make an appointment and we'll talk you through it. So when you click on the link that I've sent you, and we'll send the link after the meeting as well, you can either be a buyer, so you can click on I'm buying, or you can click on I'm selling. Now, in this case, you want to sell. So to register, you'll enter your company name. And I'm going to see if I can just make up a name. and an email address. No, I've got that one. So bank. I'm trying. So you just type a name and an email address. Hopefully, it's gonna tell me I can still register because I've got so many profiles. Oh, good. It says I can register. So then you literally fill in the basic things about your company. So let me just put S. Not in the United States. So South Africa or Belgium. You put your address, your city, your province. I'm not going to fill in everything. Then you put your name and your details. And the important bit that we're talking about today, and you will see that there's a little star, so it's mandatory, is your product and service categories, which is those UNSPC categories, and your ship to service location. A lot of South Africans get stuck with the DUNS number. It's called the Dun and Bradstreet number. It's a bit it's an American thing. You don't need one. It's also 8 digits. So if sometimes it keeps on asking you, then you just put 8 zeros and then it will go away. So that's a nice tip to remember. So your ship to location, you can type it or you can browse. If you browse, the system will bring up the world. And in this case, we're going to look for Southern Africa, and you can click on South Africa and then click on Gauteng. Um, and, and that would be, and if you put OK, then you basically will see that your locations have now been updated to Gauteng and South Africa. Now, the important one that you wanted to use to get to was the category. So we said if you have a UNSPSC code, for instance, just I'm just going to click on one and search for it really. Like human resource services, you can literally copy that, and we'll supply the link for that as well. And then go into your category, type human resource services, and as you type, you'll see there's the system will intelligently suggest things that sort of matches. Maybe we do the temporary services, and then you can add it like that, or you can also go to browse, and then the system will basically take you through the highest level of the UNSPC codes. And as you remember, there were 8 digits or of 2 each, and you can see there's 4 blocks that you can go down. So for instance, if you've got industrial cleaning services, we can go cleaning and janitorial services, general building and office cleaning. And whenever there's a plus, you can actually add that one. Otherwise, you have to draw down. So this one we then added it at the second last level. And then you can also add the sub ones as well if you want to. And say, okay. And based on that, you've now basically just created your whole profile, and then you say, I understand, and you register. So that's literally how easy it is to register your company. Now I'm going to show you on our company, if you don't mind, how it looks when you actually get a link. So if you're not even registered, you can even see what's available by going to leads. And here you'll see currently there's 11,267 opportunities. Most of them are RFIs. There's 1,300 RFQs that you can then go through, and basically you can filter by the categories, the location, the project value, things like that. So let's just see, I'm just going to click on anything here, used food processing, sounds interesting. Oh no, that one's closed already. No, it's open. So you can see here why the categories is important, because that is what would then match you up. And once again, you can click respond.
Herman,
Hopefully it
just the
won't.
screen is a bit small, so just read us a few of those categories. We can't all
Okay.
see that.
Sorry. Is it now better? So what happened here is I've just logged in, and here you can see currently the response fee is nothing, which is a good thing. But if I go back, I want to see, don't upgrade to Advantage. It's totally not necessary at this stage. Advantage is you pay like 600 Rand a year, and then you can respond to everything. Um, but that's not necessary right now. I just want to go back, go more back. So yeah, as Harry asked, I must just show you how the thing
It's okay,
looks.
Herman, we can see better now. It's just that product
Yeah,
and service categories we could not see on the previous screen. But now
yeah.
that
So
you've
that
largely
is
there.
for food processing. Then you can click on add to your watch list, and it will add it so that you can get back to it later. You can also say not interested, then you won't see it again. And it will help the system to understand better what you're interested in and not interested in. And you can see here there's already 17 questions and answers about this job that you can also then look up. If you want to send this to a colleague, you can literally copy this public profile posting, so and copy and paste it and send it in email, because each posting in Ariba has its own like URL. So if you click there, it will then uh, take you to that specific one. So that's an easy way to tell friends about things. But just back to our main search screen, I'm now looking for one where it will ask us um, for instance, here you can see I've won business already, but not for real. It was a client that I did a test with. And then you can see currently I've got no leads that matches the company profile, but I can click on all leads, and then it will actually show me all the leads that's available, and then we get back to this screen. So I just want to quickly see if there's something that like technology, it looks like there's a lot of them. And you can see occasionally what's nice about it is for this one is in Poland, so but it still gives all the information in English, so that you can even respond to Polish stuff if you feel like it. I just want to see, this one closes very soon, and it's 5 million US dollar, and the location, as you can see, is Australia, and it's for um, data processing and package delivery. So if we respond to this one, yeah, they've switched off, I think, the fee. So now I can't show you how to use your code. So you can see it's been made zero for everybody at the moment, which is a good thing. So let me quickly take you into my profile, um, company profile, and and you can see that after we've listed the profile, you can see my company's name, what we do, our website, our address, um, other addresses if you're a multinational, and you can see here all our categories, and then our locations, and you can also enter your industries that you serve, um, when you want to modify your thing, and you can also enter search keywords if you want to do that. So you can also look at your public profile. So every Ariba a company that registers as a seller has a profile, and you can click on that to see how it will look to a supplier when they click on your profile. You can also change the settings so that certain things are visible or not. And then you can, on the right hand side, you can get a badge that you can use on your website or your, oh, sorry, I don't know what happened there, or your email that we can just click find us on the Ariba network, and it would actually take you to your Ariba company profile site. So, and you can see over time, it would, after you've completed your basic profile, then there's all other kinds of information that you can add to your account. And just to show you a little more, so Ariba Discovery is the matchmaking part, but once you win work in Ariba Discovery, a client will possibly send you a link, if I can just get it to work, to the other parts of Ariba. So you've got the proposals and questionnaires where you register as a supplier with a company after you've won the work, contracts where they issue you with a contract, and then Ariba Network, and that is the part that sends you the purchase orders and where you can see when you'll get paid and things like that. So it's a bit personal, but it's just as an example. Don't worry about the numbers. But here you can then see, for instance, the aging of your invoice, who's paid, who hasn't paid. If there's any leads, it would be under my leads. You'll see how many invoices you've got, what you've invoiced, to which clients, all that kind of information. So it really is designed to eventually become like an end-to-end procurement service, which you can connect with your client then. So I think that was all we wanted to talk to you about today. I'm going to unshare, or maybe I mustn't unshare yet. If there's any questions, we can answer questions now.
Shavandi, go for it. Yes.
Yes. I would just like to find out, is there a possibility we can create two profiles, one for I'm selling and one for I'm buying?
Oh, a very good question, John. Thank you so much for asking that. So, you, if you create a profile for your company, you can basically populate. Let me just get back to my Discovery main screen. The one that takes you to the selling and the buying. No, not that one. Dear. Let's see if I can get there. Oh, I haven't. It keeps on remembering that I'm still busy with something. So I must just go. Okay, so you remember there's a buying and a selling button. Once you've created a profile, you can do both. So you can be a buyer and a seller. So you saw now I was registered as a seller, but now I can also go and create a posting and use the same method that I used to register as a seller. So I'll say what I need, maybe stationery. No, that I misspelled it. You see how bad it is? There it is, stationery. So it's not the one where you're standing still. It's the other one. And then I can say Gauteng, or maybe Johannesburg, wherever you are. And then you can say, I prefer people in that area, so I don't actually want people from China to send me a quote. And then literally you say next, add details. You can also preview available sellers on the previous screen. And you can say, I'm looking for stationery. The opportunity is worth 1,000 to 10,000 USD. The contract is once off, or it's a 1-year contract. And then you can say the deadline to respond. Normally it's nice to give them a week or two. And then the date that you'll award, give yourself a week to think about it. And then you can type what you want in the text block. You can, it's like Word, you can add bullet points, numbers, colors, everything. Or if you're ordering something like a very specific thing with a technical drawing or a plan or something, you can also attach an attachment. So this partner marketplaces is other places like Ariba Discovery, which you can publish or not publish to. You can add preferences. So a seller, for instance, you don't want to look at little people, please do, because they also do. But if you're a big company and you want to look at other big companies to supply something, you can say, I want to look at a big company. You can also look at things like women-owned businesses. So a bit of preferential procurement, green businesses, and then obviously your opportunity will go out to those businesses only. And then sometimes you want to do it anonymously, so then you can also hide your company name and hide your own contact name if you don't want people to know who you are. Normally, you get better responses if you put your company name, but don't put your contact name because people will email you personally, so you don't want that. And then you sort of, I'm just going to type nothing here, and then you can preview. And this is then how your advert would look. And if you hit the submit button, which I'm not going to do, it will immediately go onto, no, not immediately. It first gets checked by Ariba. They've got offices right around the world. So at the moment with the time zone, it's going to be in Asia, where they will physically look at what you say, because they've got certain things that you can't buy. For instance, they've got policies against human trafficking and drugs and illegal things. So they first check that it's legal, and then it will physically go live on Ariba Discovery. As soon as it goes live, the Ariba system will then find matches and email them to say this opportunity has come up in Johannesburg. Please click on the link to respond. So that's how it works. I hope I answered your question there. So you only registered once and you can buy and sell.
Yes, you have. But I would like to know if you can register 2 separate profiles, one for someone doing selling and one that's more the buyer that one is only looking at buying.
I misunderstood you. So
No,
yes.
no, you still answered me. Don't worry. I was just thinking of the separate ones as well.
Yeah. So Ariba allows you in your company profile to register 50 users. That's the maximum, and give them different different sort of jobs or profiles.
Yeah, so if you're the administrator, you will assign different rights to different people.
So once again, you'll do one profile. And then in your one profile, I just want to see if I can quickly get back to my company profile and show you. You actually will then create users. So you don't have to create 2 profiles. You create a buyer profile and a seller profile for 2 different persons. Is that what you were asking?
Yes, that's exactly what I was asking.
Okay, let me quickly just see if I can get out of all my open screens, and hopefully I can show you. Okay, so here's my company profile, and there's manage users. So once you, if I'm the administrator of the profile, then I can go and add users with profiles. So you can add a finance person for the contracts. You can add a legal person if you've a big company, and then it would actually route the work to the different individuals. So the selling part, then you would ideally route to a sales manager, for which you create a sales profile. So yeah, you can do up to 50.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Herman, I've got just a question, and then I'll give back the floor to the others. You mentioned at the start of your presentation the risk of fraud. I mean, generally speaking, when you go on the internet and or get emails, I suppose that is covered here with this tool. That the fact that they've got people checking what is put on the platform, there's no risk of getting a false inquiry.
Definitely. So this works very much like other websites where you get stars. So if
oh yeah, like a Uber driver with 4 or 5 stars.
Yeah. So as
Okay.
you transact, they actually give you stars based on your behavior.
Okay.
So when you, I don't know if you remember earlier screen where I said select only people like this. You can also only select 5-star sellers or
All
to
right.
respond.
Yes.
Yeah, and but how that happens is basically whether you've got a 100% company profile. So as soon as you
Yes.
get your profile 100% completed, you become a serious contender. So Ariba will put you higher up in the list or lower down the list based
I
on
see.
the completeness of your profile.
Okay.
So I'm going to quickly go into my profile. Yeah, it's now very slow. But the one thing that you have to add is your company registration number and your VAT number.
Right.
So as I said, there's great teams of people working around the clock. Where is my profile now? Now I wanted to. Oh
Okay,
yeah,
so while you
yeah.
looking, also then this one you won't see on your public profile, but once a company awards you a tender or some work, they will ask additional, if they ask you to join, for example, the Ariba network, they will ask additional information, like your tax certificate of good standing.
Yeah.
If it's a South African company and you are a qualifying business, they may ask for a BEE certificate and all of that.
Yes.
So all that due diligence still take place. It's just now electronically, and it's all in a safe environment. And as I said, the things that a company asks from you, only they can see.
Yeah.
And like Herman explained before, you've got control on what's visible on your public profile.
Yeah. So based on because my company is registered in South Africa, it actually asks for our tax ID, the VAT ID. It asks you to upload your VAT registration, your tax clearance, or PIN number for that. You can put expiry dates. So the company that's interested in giving you the business will be able to then see your registration, so they can also check on you before they give you the business.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
But
So
Ariba
sorry.
They're basically connected to all the country's databases, and they will also run background checks. And if you register a fake company, within a week you'll get deleted. You know, before you could even get a job, they'll get rid of you. Yeah.
Excellent. It's good to know. Good to know. Okay, so anybody any more questions for Gary or Herman? I think it was, you covered quite a lot, and as I said before, I'm sure you more than happy to speak if some people prefer to speak to you individually, one-on-one. I'll share your contact details with them, and you can take it forward with them after the session. Yes.
Well,
Okay.
I just wanted to say thank you. I mean, this is a great opportunity, and nice to see that you are sharing this with the members as well.
Thank you. We just felt we know about this, and we know that for this year it's going to be free, and it's great for everybody to try and get onto it and get a digital profile. So thank you. It's a big pleasure from our side.
Yes, thank you very much. And we've now, like everybody else, I never for 10 years attended training or webinars, but now during COVID, I did all of that. And I really made it my business to find out more about what, digital procurement and stuff. And companies who have these things in place pivoted more, quicker than other companies, because you've got everything digital now. You can sit at home and find someone for your service, whether you're buying or selling, and that's what great is great about this, and that's why I always say it's the first step towards digitalizing your procurement system.
And just to tell you a few of the clients that we know that's had successes with this. One of them is a company that makes these mobile offices, and they actually got a job in Morocco to deliver ready-made housing, and quite a lucrative one. So, especially if you're aiming into Africa, Ariba is widely used in Southern Africa, countries that find it difficult to procure stuff. So you'll get a lot of leads that way if you're aiming to do Zambia or countries like that.
Okay, so if you are right with it, I think we'll call it a day at this stage. But again, let's talk afterwards between ourselves. Yes,
can you hear me, Claudine?
Yes.
Can you hear me? I just wanted to, because it's kind of breaking and I couldn't hear what you said about Zambia. You said it is very much used in that area of Africa.
Oh, what Ariba works well for is countries like Zambia, where they battle to find things.
Yes.
They seem to use Discovery a lot to put out RFIs, RFQs. And so if you're aiming to sell into Africa, you'll find that you'll pick up a lot of business through Discovery.
All right.
If you like in Brussels or in Joburg, there's other ways of finding suppliers, but countries that don't have a big manufacturing sector and imports most things like Namibia, in a way Botswana, Zambia, they extensively use Discovery, to find suppliers.
Okay, thank you very much.
Cool.
Thank you, Jesse. Okay, so thank you very much, Herman and Gary, for your insight into Ariba. It looks like I'm frozen now, but hopefully we'll have another session soon, a member-to-member offer. So if your own company wants to approach all members, please, get in touch with me, because that's something we're going to also push this year at the Chamber, is to present the services and products of some of our members to the rest of the members, and that's the way we can improve or enhance the networking between each other. So thanks a lot to you both, and hopefully we'll see you again sometime, either virtually or at an event that we'll do. I'm sure certainly in the coming weeks. So have a lovely rest of the day, and as I said before, I'll share the recording, the contact for Gapresolve, and if you've got any questions, please, you know where to find me, hopefully.
So we'll also quickly email you, for instance, the categories that that Gerrie looked up, and the presentation that you can send out as well.
Yeah, perfect. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Bye.
everybody. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.